Hey guys, Tarnish here. Today I wanted to go over the Restoration Druid Legendaries. Shadowlands is just around the corner. One final week, and then we can be there and experience this stuff live and test it out ourselves. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And let's get into it. So these ones, any spec can use. They may have some utility in each of the specs. Um, there are also general legendaries for every class. Most of them are rep gated, so I didn't want to go over them quite yet because we'll likely learn more about them as we're in the expansion. Because you have to be at least revered or higher to get majority of them. All right, so the first one's gonna call it Circle of Life and Death. Your damage over time effects deal their damage in 25% less time, and your healing over time effects occur in 50% less time. This is a head or finger slot. Um, Sounds like it'll be a really good generic item. Could have some good use, especially for like maybe a feral druid. However, I am primarily looking at healers right now because I am the one trying to pick a class. So I've been doing a lot of thought process on which class to pick. So that one it does seem good for maybe a Resto Druid in these situations. I don't think that'd be a very good one. Um, Drought of Deep Focus. This affects your hots, rake, rip, rejuve. Um, Basically, what it's doing is increasing their effects by 40%. Um, Obviously, rejuvenation and moonfire if you're going boomkin affinity, which I hear is kind of the go-to right now with Resto Druid because of the non-melee friendliness of Shadowlands, especially in the beginning. Anyways, you kind of want to stay away, make things as easy as possible, Mythic Plus and whatnot. This affects obviously Rejuve and Moonfire. If you're a Feral Affinity, you do get Rake and Rip, so that could also help you there. I don't think we'll be using this one. I just think that you're probably going to be using something more concrete with your spec um, or feral, and I believe that also be for restoration. We just have some really strong legendaries resto, so I don't think any of these general ones will probably be used unless for a niche situation. So the next one's going to be Lycara's Fleeting Glimpse. Every 45 seconds while in combat, you cast a spell based on your form. So if you have no form, you get Wild Growth. Um, that's pretty strong, right? Wild Growth gives that heals I'm sorry, 5 people. Gives them that hot. That's pretty huge. Cat Form, Primal Wrath. I'm not quite sure how strong that is, to be honest with you. Bear gets Barkskin. That's decent. And Moonkin gets Starfall. Um, so if you go Balance Infinity and you go into Moon in form, you can actually get Starfall to drop, I think. That's kind of cool for Mythic Plus use. Um, Child form gets Stampeding Roar. So um, I don't know. I guess it can be useful. I definitely can see this being used maybe in Mythic Plus where it's like a really bad week for trash. Just getting that Starfall out because you don't have access to that with Mugen form. Oath of the Elder Druid. Uh, Thick Hide, Astral Influence, Feline Swiftness, and Ysera's Gift increased by 75%. When you shift into your affinities form, you gain Heart of the Wild for 10 seconds every 1 minute. Uh, that sounds all right. You know, this is generally how I typically feel about all of them. Like, they're all okay. Like there's nothing that's like special. Where a lot of the legendaries, when you get the beat to the rest of the ones you're gonna see, are just really strong. So yeah, there's your general ones. Let's move on to the restoration ones because those ones are quite juicy. All right, the restoration legendary powers for Shadowlands. These ones are extremely powerful. There's a couple of them right off the bat. I know I'm gonna really like the Dark Titans lesson. This one affects your life bloom, 2 targets at once, but life bloom's healing is reduced by 10%. So life bloom, as you know, is pretty strong. You typically keep it up. So having it on 2 targets obviously just maximize that effect. Obviously, if it overheals, that doesn't really help you. So as long as you're timing your life balloons and putting them on good targets, that could be pretty effective. The next one's a memory of the mother tree. Obviously, because the mother tree is not there anymore, right, guys? Too soon? Too soon? No. Wild Growth has 40% chance to cause your next rejuve or regrowth to apply to 3 additional allies within 20 yards of the target. This is very powerful. This sounds familiar. I think I've seen this before. I think it's from Legion. Yes. Comes from your artifact weapon power of the Archdruid. Artifact trait, sorry. That's just strong. Having a chance to do 3 times what you normally would do, that's just very powerful. Not to mention you gotta keep in mind that casting it when before damage goes out, so you're just taking you're minimizing the amount of work you need to do to get your hots up. So that means you're gonna increase your output by quite a bit, being a preparatory healer and getting that many hots up. That's 3 extra. It's 3 additional allies. So that's 3 additional players that are already set up for the damage coming out. So that increases your preparatory hots, which is just OP. Verdant Infusion. This one is also very powerful. Swiftman no longer consumes a heal over time effect and extends them by 8 seconds. If you know, right now we use Swiftman, it consumes it. So now it not only is it not consuming, but it's extending your hots by 8 seconds. You're typically using Swiftman to save somebody, to burst heal them up. So this just completely magnifies that. So it really, really helps out. So I think this is a really strong utility, legendary, for maybe tank healing or really anything. I think this will be very highly used in Mythic Plus if you don't need the damage and you need the healing. This will be a good one to go to, along with Memory of the Mother Tree. I think these two are very strong legendaries. Vision of Unending Growth. Rejuvenation healing has a 2.5% chance to create a new rejuvenation on a nearby target. This is also very, very powerful. This is more for raid. Okay, this is a T10 4 bonus and a T19 4 bonus. Yeah, okay. T19, I remember this now. In Legion, we had, I think, druids going back to use this because it was so strong that they didn't use a tier from the current raid. They went back and used this tier set. I think it was like a 4 set bonus. Yeah, it is 4. Yeah. So the 4 set bonus is so powerful. They went back 2 tiers to use it because it was that powerful. So very, very powerful. It would not surprise me. I mean, you got 20 people on a raid, 2.5% chance. I mean, I don't know. I think that could be very, very high chance to see this used in raid. Not to mention, I'll have to say, Memory of the Mother Tree has a 40% chance to get rejuve or regrowth to apply at 3 additional targets within 20 yards. So I don't know. It's going to take a real number cruncher to figure out of these 3 which ones to do, but they're all very, very powerful, and they all have different situations or end raids. So what you might see is you have all 3 of these in your bag, and you're switching them depending on the fight. So druids, legendary wise, they're doing really, really solid. They have really, really good ones from areas of the past where they had really powerful set bonuses, which are now legendaries. So all of these are really powerful. These bottom 3 here: Memory of the Mother Tree, Verdant Infusion, and Vision Unending Growth. They're all really, really powerful. I can see all 3 of them being used, and I think they will be used. Obviously for Mythic Plus, I think they might do something a little more damage oriented for the Mooncan of the Starfall. I can definitely see that being a thing. Other than that, though, if you need output, I mean, druids tend to do okay on the damage output, anyways. So maybe not letting your DPS do that and going more healing oriented. You have some strong legendaries to use. Obviously, I wouldn't probably use the Reju in a Mythic Plus, but the Verdant Infusion for burst healing, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually. And then Memory of the Mother Tree, you have a chance of hotting almost your entire group. 40% chance with wild growth. Like, that's huge. So, output shouldn't be a problem for restoration druids and Mythic Plus. And raids, I heard they weren't doing the best. They were like somewhere around middle of the pack. But guys, we're not in Shadowlands yet. I don't think we have a real solid answer. And just looking at the legendaries, I think they're in a really, really strong place. All right, guys, I hope this video helped you. I know there's a lot of decision making to do between now and next week. I have a couple videos I'm going to try and push out before then to help you guys out with picking classes and or being more educated on what you need to do going into Shadowlands, so you guys can kind of do everything optimally. We'll see if I get to it. I'm trying my very best. I work full time. Also trying to set up and do everything I need to do for Shadowlands as well. So I will go ahead and put this in the link in the description below. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Tarnish. Tarnish out.